Yo, so The Walking Dead Dead City just pulled a wild callback to one of the most insane moments from the original show, that unforgettable tainted meat scene from season 5. You remember that, right? The one where Bob gets snatched by determinist cannibals. They slice off his leg like it's dinner, cook it up, and start chomping down right in front of him. Like, no shame. And just when they're enjoying their twisted little meal, Bob drops the bomb that he's been bitten. Dude straight up starts laughing and yelling, tainted meat, on repeat, while the psychos realize they might have just eaten Walker infected flesh. It was disgusting, creepy, and honestly kinda epic. Well, Dead City didn't exactly copy it beat for beat, but the vibe is definitely there, maybe even darker. In season 2, episode 2, there's this moment where the Croat is getting ready to go to war with the New Babylon Federation. He's with Negan and Victor, and out of nowhere, he starts sharing this creepy story from back in the day when he was still rolling with the Saviors. At first, it sounds like just another war story, post apocalyptic horror tales. But then, boom, plot twist. The story he's telling? It's about Negan doing some next level savage stuff, and it mirrors Bob's whole ordeal in a way that's way more organized and messed up. So here's how it goes. Apparently, after the Saviors wiped out some rival group, they turned around and invited the surviving enemies to a peaceful feast. They made it look all classy, served venison and everything, but the thing is, it wasn't venison. They swapped it out with walker meat. Yeah, straight up walker flesh, cooked and served. No warning, no shame, and then they just let the infected dinner do its thing. Everyone who ate got super sick, and it's heavily implied most of them ended up dead, or undead, which, let's be real, was probably Negan's plan all along. As if that wasn't enough, their bodies basically turned into part of the Savior's walker moats around the sanctuary. That's how deep this whole thing went. Now, here's where it gets even more twisted. The Croat, instead of being horrified, is into it, like disturbingly into it. He's hyped, practically smiling about the whole thing, talking about how the victims deserved it. But that's the thing, that right there is the exact reason Negan kicked him out of the sanctuary in the first place. The Croats got this obsession with pain and punishment for fun, while Negan, for all his messed up choices, was at least trying to do what he thought was necessary to keep people alive. Brutal? Absolutely, but Negan had reasons. The Croat just gets off on cruelty. The real kicker here is that while the Croat sees Negan's move as this super awesome flex, Negan's reaction tells you he's not proud of it. He's not trying to wear it like a badge of honor. That whole story actually shows how much Negan has evolved since his early Savior days. Back then, yeah, he'd do ruthless things, but now, in Dead City, he seems more haunted by that stuff than anything else. The Croat doesn't get that though. He thinks they're still on the same page, like it's all just one big twisted game. That disconnect is huge, and it really sets the tone for where their relationship is going this season. The Croat admires Negan for the wrong reasons. He idolizes this image of Negan as this cold-blooded warlord who will do whatever it takes, when in reality, Negan's trying to step away from all that. He's not looking to relive the old glory days of the Saviors. He's trying to survive in a different way now, without becoming that guy again. So yeah, this whole episode feels like a spiritual sequel to the original Tainted Meat moment. Bob's scene was about panic and fear. Negan's version, it's about power, manipulation, and sending a message that no one's safe if you mess with him. But the way both moments are played says a lot about the characters involved. Bob's reveal was about taking back power even in death. Negan's version, though, was all about control from start to finish. And now, with this rift between him and the Croat getting wider, things are definitely heading for a blow up. Because when one guy is trying to make peace with the horrors of his past, and the other guy is still cheering for the chaos, that's not going to end well. It also kind of shows how Negan is walking this tightrope now. He's still got that reputation, that edge, and people either fear him or look up to him because of the old days. But now that he's trying to change, every time someone brings up something from his past and treats it like a highlight reel, it throws him off. He's stuck between who he was and who he's trying to be. And when you've got someone like the Croat, who only respects a darker version of you, it becomes this constant tug of war with your identity. You can see it in Negan's face, too. That look that says, yeah, I did that, but I'm not proud of it anymore. And the wild thing is, this isn't just a throwaway flashback. It's clear the writers brought this up on purpose, not just as a callback to Bob's scene, but to highlight how blurred the lines between survival and savagery have become. In the apocalypse, doing something monstrous can get labeled as leadership if it keeps people alive. That's what Negan did. That's also what the Crow thinks he's doing, but where Negan's got that inner conflict and moral shift happening, the Crow is doubling down on the chaos, acting like brutality is the only way to earn respect. That difference is going to matter big time as the story goes forward. By revisiting this whole tainted meat concept, but flipping it on its head, with Negan being the one feeding the walker meat instead of being the victim, the show's low-key asking us to think about how far people will go in the name of protection. Is it ever justified? Can someone who's done something that cold-blooded ever really change? Negan's trying to prove he can, but people like the Crow keep dragging him back into the darkness. The tension between them isn't just about tactics, it's about who they are deep down, and at some point, one of them's gonna break. What's really interesting is how this scene kind of rewrites the whole idea of what it means to be the bad guy in the Walking Dead universe. Back when Negan first showed up, he was the big villain, the dude with the bat, cracking skulls and running the saviors like a dictator. But now, compared to someone like the Croat, he almost feels like the more reasonable one. It's like the world got even darker, and now Negan's brutality doesn't seem as black and white as it used to. That shift puts the audience in this weird spot where you don't really know how to feel. You hate what he did, but you kind of get why he did it. And even though Negan doesn't directly say he regrets it, the way he tells the story makes it obvious he's not proud. He's not bragging, he's not laughing about it. If anything, he's just laying it all out there like, yeah, I went there, and that's who I used to be. Meanwhile, the Croat loves the details, totally missing the point that right there is where their paths start to split. One guy is trying to grow, and the other is stuck in the worst parts of the past, thinking that's what strength looks like. Plus, let's be honest, the fact that Negan's past keeps haunting him like this just proves there's no real clean slate in a world like this. No matter how much he tries to do better, someone's always going to remind him of the bodies he left behind, literally and figuratively, whether it's people like Maggie still holding a grudge, or the Croat misinterpreting his actions as genius. Negan's constantly dealing with the fallout of his old self, and the more he pushes back against that image, the more tension it creates, especially now that he's being forced to fight alongside people who want him to go back to being that guy. But anyway, y'all, I'll see you in the next one.